All right, let's talk about that moment. You see her across the room, at a party, in a coffee shop, wherever. You know you have to go talk to her, but what do you actually say? That first line can make all the difference, and a lot of guys overthink it into oblivion. Today, we're going to break down exactly what to say when you first meet a girl to make a killer first impression. And trust me, it's a lot simpler and more natural than you think. This isn't about cheesy pickup lines or manipulative tricks. This is about genuine, confident connection. First, let's get the biggest mistake out of the way. The generic, overused, and frankly boring compliment. You have beautiful eyes. I just had to come over and say, "You're the most beautiful girl here." Look, she's heard it a million times. It doesn't make you stand out, and it immediately puts her on the defensive, because it feels like you just want something from her based on her looks. It puts all the focus on her physical appearance, which can be uncomfortable, and it doesn't open up a real conversation. So, rule number 1. Ditch the generic physical compliments as your opener. So what's the alternative? The best openers are situational and observational. They show that you're present, aware, and engaged with the world around you, not just locked in your own head, rehearsing a line. Your environment is your best friend. Let's say you're at a coffee shop. You could approach her and say, "I'm having a serious decision crisis here. I always get the same old Americano, but that drink you have looks amazing. Is it as good as it looks? What would you recommend?" This works on so many levels. It's low pressure. It's not about her looks. It's about a shared experience being in that coffee shop, and it asks for her opinion, which makes her feel valued and immediately engages her in a conversation. It's a simple, genuine question. Let's try another scenario. You're at a party or a social gathering. Maybe there's some interesting music playing. You could walk over and say, "I'm loving the music tonight, but I can't for the life of me place this song." You look like you have good taste in music. You have an idea what it is? Again, you're making an observation. You're giving a subtle, non-physical compliment. You look like you have good taste, and you're re-asking a question that opens the door for a longer chat about music, concerts, or favorite bands. Or, if she doesn't know, you can laugh about it together and try to figure it out, turning it into a fun little team activity. Another powerful technique is to comment on something she's doing, wearing, or holding that shows a bit of her personality. This requires you to be observant. Is she reading a book? That's a golden opportunity. "Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice your book. I just finished a great one by the same author. What do you think of that one so far?" This is amazing because it shows you share a common interest, and it's a topic you can discuss in depth. Or maybe she's wearing a t-shirt from a specific band, a university, or a marathon. "Hey, awesome shirt. Did you run the city marathon this year? I've always wanted to do it." You're not just complimenting her shirt. You're complimenting a choice she made, an achievement, or an interest. This is much more personal and meaningful than a comment on her eye color. Now, what about confidence? Your delivery is just as important as the words themselves. You need to approach with open, friendly body language, stand up straight, make eye contact, and most importantly, smile. A genuine warm smile is the universal signal for "I'm friendly and not a threat." When you speak, do it clearly and at a moderate pace. Don't mumble or rush your words. And remember to hold that eye contact. It shows you're confident and genuinely interested in her response. If you look at your feet or around the room, it signals nervousness and a lack of self-assurance. Let's talk about the I statement versus the you statement. Starting with I can often feel less accusatory or pressuring. For example, "I was wondering what your opinion was on ... feels softer than "What do you think about ... double quotes." Or, "I noticed you were looking at the art over here. I think this piece is really interesting." This frames it as your observation and invites her to share hers rather than putting her on the spot. What if there's nothing obvious to comment on? This is where you can use a more direct but still very effective approach. It's about being honest and vulnerable, which is incredibly attractive. You can simply walk up, smile, and say, "Hi, I know this is a bit random, but I saw you from over there, and I'd be kicking myself all day if I didn't come and say hello. I'm Alex." That's it. It's honest, it's confident, and it's respectful. It acknowledges the situation that you're approaching her out of the blue, which shows social awareness. The key here is your nonverbal cues. You have to deliver it with that warm smile and calm, confident energy. It can't sound like a rehearsed line. It has to feel like a spontaneous, genuine thought. Once she responds, the most critical part is to listen. I mean, really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Ask follow-up questions based on what she says. If she tells you what her coffee is, ask her what she likes about it. If she tells you about the book she's reading, ask her what character she relates to the most. This is how you build rapport and turn a simple opening line into a real connection. The conversation should be a tennis match, a back-and-forth exchange. Your goal in the first 30 seconds is simply to get her engaged and comfortable, not to get her number or plan a date. That comes later. Let's recap the key principles. First, avoid generic physical compliments. Second, use your environment. Make situational or observational openers. Third, comment on something that reveals her personality, like a book, a piece of clothing, or an activity. Fourth, nail your delivery with confident body language, eye contact, and a genuine smile. Fifth, when in doubt, a simple, honest, and direct approach can work wonders. And finally, and most importantly, listen actively to her response and build a real conversation from there. Remember, the goal isn't to find a magic line that works on every woman. The goal is to develop the social intelligence and confidence to see an opportunity. Start a genuine conversation and see where it goes. It's about being a normal, friendly, and interesting person. Rejection will happen, and that's okay. It doesn't mean your opener was bad. It just means it wasn't a match or she wasn't in the mood to talk. Don't take it personally. Every interaction is practice. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You'll stop overthinking and start connecting. So next time you see someone you're interested in, take a deep breath. Look around. Find your opening. It could be about the music, the coffee, a book, or just the simple fact that you wanted to meet her. Walk over, smile, and just say it. You've got this. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tips on building confidence and making real connections. Let me know in the comments what your go-to conversation starters are. See you in the next one.